podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
ThaBoxingvoice.com. All the guys want, I want what Mayweather got. I want what Mayweather got. You done bust your ass like Mayweather. I was trying to fight every fighter. I sacrificed a lot
Dazn Productions
to get to where I got to.
What do you bring to the table?
Let's get this on. Let's do it.
Well, it's like this. Wait.
All right, that's it. Hold on. Bernard, everybody calm down.
Man, you know how these bitches is in the sport. Total disrespect. Kid has no class, no style at all. I sacrificed a lot. ThaBoxingvoice.com to get to where I got to. ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Good morning, TBV, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Boxing Voice Radio morning episode. It is Sunday, slow week of boxing, but a pretty big headline, something that we've been knowing has been coming down the pipeline, something we've been discussing. Gervonta Tank Davis and his potential next fight on pay-per-view. The opponent that's being eyed is Leo Santa Cruz, and I quote, "Sure, why not?" When speaking of Cruz, said Leonard Ellerbe. Now, I can't deny that Leo Santa Cruz and Gervonta Davis may be some sort of attraction. I wanted to come into this show believing that it would be a bust. Last time I did that, I lost a friendship in Earl Spence, thinking that the smaller man in Mikey would be moving up and he wouldn't have a shot for Earl. I thought the world would have noticed that and ran with me and believed that Mikey had no shot for Earl. But that's not what happened. People fell for it. The pay-per-view went on, and it was extremely successful. And that's kind of where I'm at with this situation. Do I go on and say, nah, this is going to be a shit pay-per-view? No one's going to fall for this. Everyone knows Tank isn't going to lose to Leo. Everyone knows Leo doesn't have the power to hurt Tank. But if I go on the record saying that this will bomb, it will probably exceed mine and your expectations. I mean, Earl Spence was a classic mismatch handicap bout. And for whatever reason, the fight fans did not see that. They had their fanatic goggles on. I knew Earl and Mikey was not a fair fight. I did not predict it would do as many pay-per-views as it did because I thought that the world would realize it wasn't a fair fight. But I'm bringing all that to say this. I was wrong once. I will be wrong again. And if this goes to pay-per-view the way Leonard Ellerbe, the CEO of TMT Mayweather Promotions, says, it would probably be a success because I no longer want to discredit or overlook the Mexican fan base of any Mexican fighter. We seen Mikey do it, and together with Earl, they pulled in 48,000 in Texas. I don't know what Tank and Leo will do, but Leo being a 4-division world champion, undefeated, facing some great names, maybe they can do some really big business. And that's kind of my question to you. Do you think this fight does big business in terms of ticket sales, in terms of, pay-per-views? Where do you think they put this fight at? And are you buying it? Are you buying a Tank Davis first pay-per-view with an undefeated 4-division world champion in Leo Santa Cruz? Is that good enough to get your money? Those are the questions. If Tank's fight is really on pay-per-view next, is Leo Santa Cruz a good enough opponent to get your money? That's what we have to ask ourselves. But I would like to get your pay-per-view prediction. If no callers call in, drop that in the comment section. Let us know. What do you think? How many buys? Because it's hard. It's hard for me to believe that this is going to be super successful when Tank is doing, 400 to 500. I think they said maybe he peaked at 700 his last time out. Out of 700,000 people, to get 250 to buy a pay-per-view at $80, I don't think that's a big pool to be dipping from. I don't think that's a big pool to be dipping from at all. If his numbers were a little bit better on Showtime, maybe I can see this. The thing is that they tell us the Tank is such a star every day that I never bothered to even check, is Leo a star? What's Leo's Santa Cruz's numbers on television? How many views is he getting? These are all questions we need to ask ourselves, and questions that the networks need to ask. Is this a pay-per-view? Are they going to do this on Showtime, or will they take this to Fox? Is this one of those fights that are Fox worthy now? That's another question for you guys. A lot of questions surrounding this fight. But it looks like this is the direction in which they're going. The direction in which they're going. Definitely a marketing plan behind this. With classic Mexican versus black. We've been seeing this in boxing throughout history. So it's the right matchup. I just don't know that it's the right two individuals. With that lack of punching power for Cruz, I don't know how many buys they get. He's a volume puncher. Are his fans going to believe that he can overwhelm, punch Gervonta? How do you make this pay-per-view and make it worth the money? How much is going to be the pay-per-view? Are they going to do the typical $79 for HD? Will they drop it and ruin the market? I doubt they drop it because they're taking money out their own mouth. So I just don't know about this one, man. I see no one in the chat saying that this is a good fight. I see the words basura, which translates to trash. I see the quotes. Mikey, I see something, which means, they're being sarcastic at Mikey thinking he's seen something in Earl. No different than Leo getting in the ring with Tank. People saying not worthy of pay-per-view. Not pay-per-view worthy is all that you see. And again, those are the questions that we need to answer today, because this show is going to fall in the hands of the powers that be, and maybe we can deter them from doing this pay-per-view. But again, I was wrong. I was wrong on multiple occasions when it comes to pay-per-view, right? I thought Mikey and Earl would flop. I thought that, like myself, you would see that Mikey was a bit outclassed in that fight. That Mikey was the smaller man. That it was a mismatch. I took a lot of heat for it. Like I said, no longer got a relationship with Earl for it. But at the end of the day, I was right. It was a complete and utter shutout. It was a pay-per-view success, though. And that's why I'm not going to put my foot in my mouth this time. I'm not going to say this won't be successful. But I will say that I don't think that people are going to accept this fight the way they accepted Earl versus Mikey. So, if anything, that's another question for you to answer in the chat. Is this as competitive on paper as Mikey versus Earl? Is this more of a mismatch? will you be willing to pay for it? But definitely all signs point to Leo Santa Cruz. And when you think about it, the only other name out there for Tank in that PBC stable with a name like this and the Mexican drawing power would be Abner Mares. And with the eye issue, I think that most people are happy that it's Leo because at least he's 100% and not injured. But I just don't see what he brings to the table to stop Tank from his come forward aggression. But this is Ellerbe, man. The man that made more money on pay-per-view than any other fighter in history is convinced that the time is right to take Gervonta Davis to the pay-per-view platform. So not only is Ellerbe stating this, but Mayweather himself thinks it's time. You know, they think it is time. They believe that Tank has shown that he can draw across the board. And they believe that he has terrific drawing power. He puts behinds in seats is the words they use. And the fans will tune in. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know how big of a fight this is. I don't know who's clamoring for this. I haven't seen anyone asking for this. But we can't pretend to be promoters. We can't pretend to have all the resources of Mayweather Promotions to be able to, factor everything in and make this type of decision. But look, I'm not going to ramble much. We're going to go out to the callers. You want to call in, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 time. Voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. We're talking Tank versus Leo Santa Cruz live on pay-per-view 2020. They're saying it must go down. We want to know what's your thoughts.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Now, before we go to those callers, let me just remind you that there could be some sort of catchweight situation, or maybe Tank stays at 135, makes Leo move up. There was rumors that he was supposed to move down to face Leo. Back down anyway, but I mean, after missing weight at his debut 135, will he really move back down to face Leo? Or will they make Leo move up another weight class? Those are just some things to factor in. Remember, Leo moved in to fight for his vacated title, and he moved up. So where this fight takes place, I'm not 100% sure. But if Gervonta's the A side and Mayweather Promotions is the A side promotion, they'd probably try to make it at 135 to give Tank a better opportunity at making weight. But yeah, man, let's go out to Killer in Sweden on the Ringer Status. What's going on?
Yo, what's up, Ness?
What up, champ?
You good?
I'm good, brother. Sunday morning, talking a little boxing. Can't complain.
Oh, that's good, man. Yeah, so, I mean, I'm not paying for shit, basically, I'm not stream gang all day. I'm not paying for shit. If Tank's not training, I'm not paying. That's my new slogan. I'm not paying for shit.
I mean, you won't really know if he's training till weigh-in.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. He's looking like a sumo wrestler between fights. I'm not paying for shit. And the thing is, Teofimo's 22 years old, about to fight Lomachenko. Everyone keeps saying he's young. Man, he's 25. I know some all-time great fighters that were already shot by the age of 25, so I don't know about that, man. He's 25, time's ticking. He's already behind someone like Floyd in terms of his career and what he's accomplished. So,
Right, he's already behind someone like Danny. At 25, Danny was already unified champ at 140.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, most people say Mike Tyson was a shot fighter by the age of 23, and Leo Santa Cruz. Like I said, and even how Tank fights, he was impressive before he moved up, but he just loads up and waits for that one shot. His work rate for such a small lightweight fighter is super low. He's just waiting to counter and hit you with one shot. I used to think he could have a chance against someone like Lomachenko, but he's not beating anyone, man. You know, I can't see it.
Nah, man, I hear you. So you won't pay for the pay-per-view. You don't think it's a good fight.
No, hell no.
So it's not even a question of it's a good fight, but it shouldn't
be
pay-per-view.
Let me tell you like this, Ness. Sleeping pills take Leo Santa Cruz. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I'm just asking you this. You don't think it's a good fight on or off pay-per-view? It's not a good fight at all.
I mean, I'd watch it, on TV, But I mean, let me tell you like this. I would rather watch the UFC, and I'm not even an MMA guy like that, but I would watch the UFC over a Tank against Santa Cruz fight,
I hear you, brother. So what do you think the price is going to be? Are they going to go with the typical 80 for Americans? Or do they, break the internet and come back down to like $50, $49 pay-per-views?
I mean, the way Ellerbe keeps talking about Tank, I mean, I don't know if he really believes what he's saying about the status. I mean, he's probably going to go full price, but I mean, Ellerbe is a bit smarter than that.
Killer, that is your time, man. Giving y'all a little extra time since there's not that many people rocking out with us. We're going to go out to the one and only in Florida.
El gran campeón puertorriqueño, Davis, Chico Trinidad.
You got any excuses tonight, Roy? Let's not ask questions like that. Let's touch gloves and go to work. Let's go to work.
Yo, good morning, Ness.
Buenos dias. What it do?
Not much, man. Not much. Good Sunday morning, man. So, Tank and Leo, I'm glad you that was what I was going to ask until you said that they might do a catchweight or something, because that was the first thing on my mind is what weight are they going to fight at? And has Leo ever gone up to 135 before?
I highly doubt he's ever fought at 35.
Okay. So yeah, that's something I'd like to see, or like to know what weight are they gonna fight at. But I'd like this fight, man. Pay-per-view, would I buy it? Probably. I think it would be a good fight, stylistically. I know Leo, we all know he's got that high pace, throws a ton of punches, no real pop on his punches, and it can get boring when you're watching a guy just flail his arms, 100 punches around and doesn't even stumble somebody. It can get boring. Like him and Abner Maris' fight, you would think it was high action with a lot of punches, but you just get tired of watching the same shit with no knockdowns, no excitement, But against Tank, I think it would be an exciting fight, Tank with the big punches and always looking to counter with that big shot. It could make for an exciting fight. Leo has the Mexican fan base. Tank, I do think, is a star. With what he just did in Atlanta with selling all them tickets. There were so many celebrities there. I always gauge fighters by how often I hear casual fans talk about them, or people bring them up. And I hear quite a few people know who Tank is. They know he's connected with Floyd. They know he be on IG heavy with all, and it seems like he's pretty well known. So I think the numbers could be decent. I think they could be pretty good. So, and I think it is a good fight. I'd like to see the fight. I agree with the last caller, though. Tank needs to step it up. I didn't even realize Danny was unified champ at this age already. That's fucking crazy. Tank is he's really falling behind, man, big time. He needs to start making some big waves this year and stepping up and fighting some big names, because he's definitely falling behind on his trajectory. So I think a fight like this, a pay-per-view fight, would be good for him, man. And I'd like to see it. I'd like to watch this fight.
King, man, thanks for calling in. We're going to go to Colorado, Stonebone Boxing. Talk to me.
What up, man? Good morning on this beautiful Sunday. And I told you that's basura. That's trash, man. Ain't nobody gonna pay for that. Only people who will pay for that is Fox. Would probably pay for that to bring him over to Fox. You know what I mean? They would pay. They wouldn't even probably try to put that on pay-per-view. They probably telling them, hey, we'll bid on it to put him on Fox. get him off Showtime. But I don't know if Tank's exclusive with Showtime. I don't know how that's going. But I got the rankings pulled up, and I'm looking through the top 10. Most of these guys are all top rank or with the zone. And I looked at 130 too, and it's like only other I see maybe Rancis Bartholomew is number 12. I think everybody else I'm looking at is pretty much with the zone or top rank. Then at 130, it's pretty much the same too. Almost the whole top 10, besides Leo, is top rank in the zone. So either they're gonna have to cut a deal to get a good fight with like a Tevin Former, or I'm looking at 135 now. At 130, you got Luke Campbell, Richard Comey, Teofimo. Gervonta is 3 above Haney at 4. So it's like you're gonna bring up a guy from that's really from 126. I don't know how he's in the top. I guess he's Leo, so he's gonna be in the top division if he move up anyway. So he fighting a guy that was basically a 126 pounder at 135, and him missing weight. I don't see him going back down. So that fight is happening at 135 because if they do a catch weight, it won't be for a title. At least if they do it at 135, it's for a fake title, an underling belt. So, man, all signs are pointing to this to not be a good pay-per-view. And then it's on Showtime too, and we know the Showtime numbers are probably 30% less than the Fox numbers based off what we've been accumulating. So I just don't see it being the smart move for neither one of them.
I'm with you, champ. Well, Stonebone Boxing, Colorado, thanks for calling in. Majid, Florida, talk to us.
Hey, what up, man?
Good morning. Majid, you dropped off? You muted yourself, champ. You muted yourself by mistake.
Oh, my bad, my bad. Yeah, everybody like this video, spread out to more people to watch it and call in. But I'm more on this side of, I feel like, this fight would be like bullshit. But, as far as sales points, I live next door to Mexicans and they be supporting the fuck out of their fighters point blank, period. So I feel like even if it's something that we don't like, the Mexicans going to stand up for their peoples and it's going to be some good numbers, Then Gervonta Davis, like hardcore fans, I think they'd be able to make something out of it, But other than that, I don't even know, and that's all I got, man.
All right. Majid, man, thanks for calling in. We're going out to Brandon, Cincinnati.
What's up, Ness?
Good morning, champ. Good morning.
Yeah, I don't like this fight on pay-per-view, man. I'm tired of 50-50 fights being on pay-per-view. In my opinion, this is not a competitive fight. I mean, this talk of just throwing a Mexican on against a good black fighter and it's pay-per-view worthy, that's bullshit. If that's the case, tell Bud Crawford to put Jose Ramirez on pay-per-view and see how many numbers that do. I mean, just because it's a popular Mexican fighter that nobody thinks has a fucking chance of winning means it's going to be successful. It don't work like that. Boxing is about what have you done for me lately. People thought Mikey had a shot against Earl because Mikey was right half, just beat Brawner, who was a popular fighter, just moved back down, beat Easter, who was a popular fighter, beat Lipinets for a 140-pound title. He was kicking ass. I mean, we are far removed from Carl Frampton, Abner Mares. Leo's last two fights were boring as shit against fucking cans that nobody knew and nobody cared about him. So, I mean, why would we battle Leo Santa Cruz fight? His last two fights were underwhelming. He hasn't did nothing lately to make us think he has a chance in that fight. And even if he did do something, we still don't think he had a chance in that fight. So it's totally different from the Mikey Garcia situation. As far as the numbers, I think Tank is a pretty popular guy, but I don't think he's that popular. And really, I don't know how popular Leo is. I mean, like I said, we need to research his numbers and see how popular he is as far as TV viewership and ticket sales. But right now, if I had to take a guess, I'd say to do about 200,000, maybe 225 on the high end, and that's being generous in my opinion. So no, I don't like the fight. on pay-per-view. I mean, right now, I think the only fights for Tank that's pay-per-view worthy is the Lomachenko Teofimo Lopez winner. That's a 50-50 fight. That's a fight where two guys have been putting in work, doing stuff in the sport, not them force-feeding fights we don't want to see down our throats. We've seen what force-feeding in pay-per-views down our throats and not giving us what we want them doing. Those numbers typically are lower. But that's my call, man. I really don't like this fight at all. If I had to take a guess, I'd say 200,000 pay-per-view buys. If you think that's successful, we'll ride with that, but I don't see it doing much more than that. Other than that, man, that's my call. You have a good one, man.
All right, Brandon. Thanks for calling in. We're going out to Juan in the BX. Talk to us.
Yo, what's good, Ness?
What up, Juan?
I just heard somebody else in the background. That shit sounded weird as fuck. Yeah, you know for a fact, bro. The answer is hell no. Would I watch that fight for free? Hell yeah. Nobody trying to see that shit on pay-per-view for $80 plus probably $1 for HD or whatever it is. If it's backwards, $65. Definitely not. But I will pay $80 to $100 to watch Ellerbe versus Oscar de la Coca and shit. See which one of them can sniff faster. And I'm going for Ellerbe. But definitely not paying for the pay-per-view.
So, Juan, off topic, didn't you want to fight at 130?
Oh, man, yeah, in Jersey, though, because I don't got the funds and I'm scared of planes, bro, to be flying to these places. I mean, I know you say you located in Jersey, and if y'all throw something over there, I'll drive down there real fast. But to fly anywhere, bro, I'm a bitch when it comes to planes.
Nah, I hear you.
I be holding on to the fucking... Yeah, bro, I travel a lot, too, which is crazy. Shit, me and my girl went to, Las Vegas, bro, and she got me 2 airplanes. So I was like in panic mode, bro. All I could think of was flying over there. Once I got there, all I could think about was the flight back. I didn't even want to chill and have fun because I knew I had to jump on 2 fucking planes. Then the second plane ends up to be a fucking micro plane where you have to fucking balance out the people. Some lady was like, yo, fat guy, try to sit closer to the center because the plane might fall down or some bullshit. Like, what the fuck? I wanted to kill my wifey. Like, yo, what you did to me? But yeah, bro, I'm definitely down to fight.
Bet. All right, brother. Well, thank you for calling in, Huang and the BX. Stonebone, man, if you can send that to my IG because I can't get it from there. But I guess I mean it ain't what I thought it was, man. I guess see that's what I'm saying. People just run with shit because that's not even. Anyway, we'll talk about it off it. Yo, Ness GTO, Instagram and Twitter. Want to thank everybody that rocked out with us, man. This was just a quick one, little Sunday show. Give you something to talk about. And they're talking about Tank being on pay-per-view this year versus Leo Santa Cruz. And I wanted to see how you guys felt, man. See if you'd be willing to pay for this good old fight. But yeah, man, that's GTO, Instagram and Twitter. Catch us on the next one. Do say.